Now that Carney has been officially installed as the interim Prime Minister of Canada, the decision to replace Justin Trudeau with the much more vicious technocrat can only be understood by the historic role of the British Empire in using Canada as a weapon against Canadians, and especially Americans, going back for over 2 centuries. In the 19th century, Canada was recognized as a principal enemy of the USA. Confederate intelligence had enjoyed vast patronage and support by the British Empire through its web of intelligence bases in Montreal and Toronto. These Confederate intelligence networks not only coordinated terrorist operations against the Union from the north, but additionally paid and directed John Wilkes Booth to murder Lincoln after the war's end. These facts were outlined in detail in Barry Sheehy's brilliant 2017 book, Montreal, City of Secrets. When Cecil Rhodes's Round Table, founded in 1902, became a driving force in shaping imperial grand strategy in order to recapture the lost colonies of the Americas and establish a world federation under the City of London, it was Canada that incubated hundreds of Rhodes Scholars between 1907 through 1952, which then infiltrated the USA. This fact was exposed by American journalist Eugene Griffin in the 1951 Chicago Tribune article titled, "Canada Offers Fine Field to Rhodes Wards."
British-educated Canadians are in a unique position to serve Britain through Canada's influence on Washington as a next-door neighbor of the United States. Canada acts as a connecting link between England and the United States, helping to hold the neighboring republic in line with the Dominion's mother country. When General MacArthur displeased Britain and Canada by his efforts to win the Korean War, Canada's Oxford-educated Minister for External Affairs, Lester B. Pearson, complained that American-Canadian relations had become difficult and delicate. MacArthur was fired the next day. Pearson's Foreign Office staff was packed with Rhodes Scholars. 1 out of every 8 were educated at Oxford University on the scholarships created by Cecil Rhodes, empire builder and diamond mogul who wanted the United States taken back into Britain's fold. Other Canadian Foreign Office members also were educated in England. Pearson went to Oxford on a Massey Scholarship, endowed by a Canadian millionaire.
A career path that would be very familiar to Mark Carney. As the informative 2010 LPAC documentary, The Special Relationship is for Traitors, showcased, during the early 20th century, leading American military figures like Brigadier General Billy Mitchell understood Britain's role in supporting the Confederacy and Britain's manipulation of global wars. General Mitchell fought against the Special Relationship tooth and nail and led the military to create War Plan Red and War Plan Orange to defeat Britain under the context of an eventual war between the English-speaking powers. These plans became official U.S. military doctrine in 1930 and were crafted in response to Anglo-Canadian plans to invade the USA that had been drafted 10 years earlier, known as Defense Scheme 1. Despite the name, it is admitted by even the most ardent anti-American historians that these plans were entirely offensive in nature, as no prior U.S. plan to invade Canada then existed. War Plan Red was only taken off the books when America decided it was more important to put down London's fascist Frankenstein threat than fight Britain head-on in World War II. The Green Agenda's infiltration into U.S. foreign and energy policy considerations was also driven in large measure through the influence of Canada's Maurice Strong. From 1963 to 1970, Strong oversaw a vast reorganization of the Liberal Party, even bragging to his biographer Elaine Dewar in 1994 that he was on the selection committee that brought Fabian Society agent Pierre Trudeau into politics in 1963. From 1965 to 1967, Strong ran Canada's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, founded Canada's International Development Agency, which transformed the philosophy of international aid from assisting poor nations to build full-spectrum economies into predatory borrowing tied to conditionalities. He also mentored a young Klaus Schwab, co-founded the World Economic Forum in 1971, chaired the first UN Forum on Population in 1972, served on the Bilderberg Group Steering Committee, and crafted a worldview which became known as the Green New Deal and Agenda 21, launched at the Rio Summit in Brazil in 1992, which he also chaired. Today, the spiritual heir of Maurice Strong and the Roundtable movement has been set up to take dictatorial control of Canada under the suggested threat of a climate emergency. This spiritual heir of Maurice Strong and the Cecil Rhodes legacy is, of course, Mark Carney. In the next Canadian Patriot short, we will explore Mark Carney's plan to control nearly every aspect of life via the threat of climate change, and the cabal looking to reduce Earth's population via the greatest financial scam of all time, the Environmental Social Governance Index.